There's so much exciting new stuff coming from TAGinn this year that Mark is here to help really kind of give us a lot more in-depth overview on what those products are. Really, TAGinn's goal is to provide the most realistic gaming experience for Airsoft, Milsim, Warplay, and Paintball. And they've accomplished that through 3 different types of devices. One of their most popular is their hand grenade style. Some new hand grenades that they're coming out with for both paintball and airsoft include a variety of new shapes, one of which is the TAG 19, modeled after the RGD5. Now the RGD5, if you are a reenactor, you'll recognize this immediately. In addition to being the correct shape, it's also got a really nice heft to it, so it's going to give you a more realistic throw. And it comes in a variety of propellant or a variety of...
This grenade actually is an icon grenade for Russian reenactors, exactly like a 67 for Americans. Okay, so it will a good addition for...
So all you Milsim West guys are going to have a great time.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, exactly. And then you'll notice that they've provided cutaways here at the booth to show you what kind of the internals look like on all of the hand grenades and on some of their launchers, but we'll get to that in a minute. You'll notice this is a new paintball grenade that they're releasing with 10 millimeter...
50 caliber paintballs inside with liquid paint. So if you're playing paintball, you can just throw it on the enemy and splash him.
Now, something you'll notice around these, as well as on the 2 updated versions of the TAG 19 and the TAG 67, is the inclusion of PEG.
Yeah, it's back. That's just sticking all the BBs together. And the good thing is when it's experiencing a pressure impact, it's becoming dust. So it's giving also some, interesting clouds that's making the explosion looks great.
There's some added advantages to doing it this way as well. Because the BBs aren't held loosely, you don't get that shake, that rattle from high capacity magazines and other grenade types, as well as them being held in suspension gives you a more even distribution of explosions. So when you are using them against OP4, that's going to give you a really even blast diameter, so you're going to get maximum effect. If BBs aren't your favorite mode of using imitation grenades, they also offer an entirely PEG internal for their TAG 19. This also, like Mark was saying, becomes dust upon that pressure wave caused by the detonation of the core. So that's going to give you a dust cloud. That's going to give you a really realistic effect without the projectile. So this is an excellent training product as well.
Yeah, as you can see here, the initiation system is exactly like a real grenade, but made of plastic instead of metal. So if you ever used RGD5 grenade, you will be very familiar with this system.
Something wonderful about the materials they use for these grenades as well is that they're soft, and they're intended to provide a usable experience without damaging people's property. So cars, doors, windows aren't going to get destroyed when using something like this.
Foam polyurethane.
Some additional things that they've also got coming is the FBG6. This is their flashbang grenade. Now, all of the cores used in all of their products use the same style detonator, which gives you the same volume in decibels of their products, which is about 135 decibels, which is enough to be a concussive force, but isn't deafening.
One important thing about the detonators is that actually this detonator is smart. It has trenches here and here. It's dividing it evenly to all the directions. We have another ones inside, and in the moment of the detonation, it's taking all the force evenly all around the.
So you're not going to get it blowing out just one side. It's an even...
It's evenly distributed, right. And every product has a unique inner, the pre-cut parts of the pyrotechnical unit.
And that brings us to kind of the next, really the next arm of TAGinn products, and that is their projectiles. You guys have really made a name for yourself with awesome projectiles that are not only effective, but they're a lot of fun to use. I can't tell you how many events we've been to where guys are running up and buying boxes of TAGinn rounds to be used in milsim games. There are some updates to their projectiles. In addition to releasing some new projectiles, they've also revamped the rifling system on some of their rounds to make them compatible with their new launcher system. So before getting into their new products, I wanted to talk about the difference between the Mark I and the Mark II design architecture for the rifling on the rounds. You'll notice this immediately as the Mark I system, giving you a really stable in-flight projectile. You've got a lot of ribbing there, so in their the rifling of their canisters, you'll notice that you're going to get a really good spin. Now that's been changed ever so slightly for the Mark II version. You'll notice they've moved up that section, and that's because it is intended to be used with a base. Now this base adapts their projectiles to a launcher like this. Now for those of you familiar with a standard M203 launcher, you'll notice this mechanism is very easy to use and it's going to be familiar to you. So that's your traditional TAGinn round now being fired out of an M203 style or 40mm style launcher, which is great. One thing you should know though is that this system is not compatible with Mark I shells. So if you are interested in getting a launcher like this, and we'll get into that in just a minute, you will need to switch over to the Mark II shells. However, if you're still using the original launcher style and the variety of styles that they offer, those are compatible with Mark I and Mark II shells as well. Getting into some of their new projectiles, we've got the Archangel Mark II.
Archangel Mark II, this one?
Yeah.
Okay, it's an impact round that actually detonates at the moment of impact. Okay, as you can see, the initiation system here is for the Reaper is working in the moment it shuts out. So actually the ball is hitting primer, and you have 3.5 seconds, and we have another one 4.5 seconds to be initiated in the air or on the ground after it's falling. Now this is an Archangel. It has a similar system from other side. So if you imagine the Reaper flying this way, so an Archangel has it in the back, and it's hitting a primer with initial detonation. So it's going off at the moment of impact.
So for those familiar with the Reaper Mark I, the Reaper Mark II is available in 2 different time delay options. So for guys that are looking for a little bit more distance on the Reaper, the 4.5 second delay is going to get you an extra 20 to 30 yards of shot time. So we're traditionally, with the 3.5 second, you're looking at about 110 yards. You're looking at about 130 yards minimum for the Reaper II.
You can use your ammo smarter.
Absolutely. Now, speaking of time delay, we'll get back into the Sabot round, or the...
We have Fates that actually it has 2 systems. Okay, it's going off on first, hitting the target, like this one. This is the system of the impact, or 5 seconds after the shot. So it's
multi-use.
It's multi-use. We're calling it Fate.
Either way,
it will reach you. It will reach you anyway.
You can't escape your fate. One other really cool one that I absolutely love is also intended to be used with their launcher. This is it in its assembled form, but I want to show you kind of what the internals look like. We've got a demo here. The internals of this round allow you to put BBs or powder. Is that right?
No, it's only BBs.
Only BBs. And the intention is to be used like a shotgun, and effectively, because this round keeps the cloud of the BBs very narrow until it reaches your target distance. And that target distance can be out to 30 yards, right? Yep. So you have a real tight cloud, so it's effective for a much longer range than a traditional shotgun, but you really have a nice tight blast, and it's a super effective round. I can't wait to see these used. It's gonna hurt.
Yeah, the idea is to bring the effective distances of the ML36 or any other, by the way, you didn't know, I will show you a trick. Any other shell from 5 yards to 200 yards. Okay, so if you want to shoot a human target from the short distance, you will use the master key. But the trick is that you can use any shell by taking the cartridge out of the casing and put it just like this inside any shell.
You can take the cartridge of any of these and put it in the master key shell.
No, you can take the master key. Master key is coming in a package ready with the BBs inside the casing. So if you're holding it this way, taking it out and just putting in any other case shell, you can use it from any launcher.
Oh.
Which is cool.
Yeah. It's even more versatile than literally any other system on the market. So let's take a second and talk about the 3 different launcher devices, some with a time delay and some that have been upgraded for different pressures. So the one in Mark's hand here is their power preset. Now that allows you to go from minimum to maximum, but in between it allows you to change the distance.
Yes. Actually, it was invented for European countries that not allowing energy over 7-10 joule, and then we developed it further for the indoor usage. So when you're going, if you're playing indoors and outdoors both, so you can use this one. When you're going to indoor site, you can preset the minimum up to 3. It's roughly, and you can use your howitzer fire of the projectiles within the small room, within the small space of the indoor arena. And it won't harm people, and it will shoot also a trajectory.
And that's great for you guys that always wanted to use TAGinns indoors but couldn't because the distances were so long.
Yeah. This year we're also making the new line. We already done the R&D, and we just started to proceed with it for our Battle Arena project, which is going on indoors mostly. We making the new hard technical units that are reporting only 110 decibels. Yeah, these are 135, 140, and the rounds that might be used with this one might be reduced power. So, because when you're throwing this grenade with 140 decibels inside the small room, and the guys are there, the ears aren't bleeding, but you can't hear anything for the next half a minute at least.
I mean, that means they're effective.
Yeah.
So we've got 2 other launcher systems. Each one is designed to take a different gas power.
Yeah. This one is HPA. HPA is actually uses for any kind of weather, any temperature, anything. Might be filled from this kind of tank, just the 850 psi, and it will shoot exactly like a ML36. The trajectory, ballistics, and the distance is very similar. Okay. Only the advantage of this one is that you don't need to refill it every time. Okay. So you will have to carry a lot of this to use it as effective as ML36.
Or at least carry some sort of gas charger.
Correct.
And then finally, we've got the one that I think is going to be a little bit more universal in terms of availability of chargers, the CO2 version.
Because you can use it with any, not only with fist charge, but you can use it with anyone. We solved the problem of the liquids inside. If you remember, the fist one had a long nozzle, and the inlet valve was hidden just deep inside to not let people to fill it with liquid CO2 from the large tanks, paintball tanks. Now this one you can fill with any CO2, liquid, not liquid. It's just making everything even.
Right.
If you will pay attention, we have our new filling station. The filling station and the shells are color coded, so you can understand that CO2 is a gold and HPA is red. So you can remove this one, put on the paintball tank, and fill both CO2 from paintball CO2 tank or HPA from paintball HPA tank to this one. or this. By the way, the multi-range, this one is good for use with both CO2 or HPA. Okay.
And also features an aluminum construction as opposed to a polycarbonate construction.
Yeah. By the way, we have revised all the sealing system here, so it is all these new shells are almost the maintenance is very simple. You almost don't need to do anything with that. Okay.
And finally, we have the MK36 launcher. Now, the MK36 launcher in this configuration has a few kits on it.
Actually, 3 kits on it.
Right. As a base platform, it features aircraft-grade aluminum construction with a POM barrel. This barrel is smooth bore as opposed to being rifled because it's intended to be used.
It has a barreled breech, and then you have a smooth bore because you don't need to twist it more than necessary.
Got it. Okay. The POM is both extremely durable and very lightweight, so you've got a very robust package without a whole lot of extra weight. The amount of weight that you save just by changing this over from aluminum or steel is incredible.
Very heavy if we would make it of aluminum.
In its stock configuration, the MK36 is designed to take a CO2 cartridge as its charging unit, and that would be in place of this current sight, right? And this one has been outfitted with the HPA tank in the back. This is an option for you. This will work with HPA and CO2. The CO2 version is available as a stock as well. So you've got different options for propellant systems, giving you a wide variety of temperatures that this can be used, in a huge variety of projectiles that can be used. This really is the game changer of 40mm launchers. The coolest part of it is that you've got a sighting system that is designed for these projectiles. This is accurate to the projectile that you're firing. No longer is this just an imitation of real life and has no bearing on airsoft. This is purposefully designed for airsoft projectiles to be accurate to these distances. So if you're looking for a launcher that is going to give you an accurate readout and be effective on the field, you want a sighting system that is designed for those projectiles.
Some players are telling that it's too accurate, and they're getting the projectile through the window from 150 yards, and it's too accurate for them, but they wish to have one like this.
Now, I know that was a lot of information because they've got a huge variety of products coming in the upcoming year, so we're excited for all of the stuff we're going to be carrying here at Evike.com. Thanks to Mark for running us through all of the different systems. If you want to find out more information about all of TAGinn's products, make sure you stay tuned to our social media. Tune into TAGinn's social media to find out when they're releasing new stuff, and we hope to have these on the shelves soon. See you guys later.